Hello students, today we are going to learn about the micrometer screw gauge. This is how the micrometer screw gauge looks like in its box. Now let's take it out and have a look at its parts. Here we have the U-frame, anvil, spindle, main scale, thimble scale and the ratchet. First, when you take your micrometer screw gauge, you check whether it has a zero error. If the zero reading of thimble scale aligns with the zero reading of the main scale, then it has no zero error like in our case. Now let's measure the width of a bob. We open the anvil by rotating the ratchet anti-clockwise, this way. Then let us fix our bob right between the spindle and anvil. We then close the spindle by rotating the ratchet clockwise till it touches the bob. Do not force the spindle to move further inwards once it touches the bob. Now let us take our readings from the main scale and the thimble scale and add them. In our case the main reading is 1.0 mm and the thimble scale reading is 0.61 mm. We add the thimble scale reading to the main scale reading to get the total measurement, which is 1.61 mm. We can now measure the diameter of our bob by simply using the same procedure as before. We check if there is zero error in our micrometer screw gauge. If there isn't, we proceed to measuring. We open our spindle. Insert the bob, we close it. Let's now take our measurements from thimble scale and main scale. In our case, the main reading is 23.0 mm and thimble scale reading is 0.80 mm as you can see. Now let's add the readings together. We have 23.0 mm plus 0.80 mm. The final reading becomes 23.80 mm. Let us take our bob out and close the spindle before returning the micrometer screw gauge to its box. You place it slowly to avoid tampering with its parts. Then close the box.